Welcome to the Manana Ventures YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. This is your tutor, Figure Storm. So today we will be dealing with financial maths. Okay, and we'll be dealing with lump sums. Okay, now I have 3 simple steps on how to solve every financial maths problem. Okay, let's get down into it. Step 1. Step 1. Identify the relevant equation. Okay, very important. If you get this step wrong, then everything else will be wrong. So it's absolutely important to get the right equation. Step 2. From the question, write down what you have been given. Okay, write down what you've been given in the question, and then step 3, you've got then to solve the unknown. Whatever is left, then you got to solve for it. Okay, so let's take our 3 simple steps and try to figure out the answer to this question over here. Step 1, identify the equation. So, from reading all of this, we need to figure out what is the correct equation to use. Let's get into it. Determine the length of time it will take for an investment of 520,000 to become 860,000 if the simple interest rate is 12% per annum. Okay, so now this gives us a clue into what equation we should use. Simple interest. We're going to be using a simple interest equation. Now, the equation of a simple interest is simply A is equal to P1 plus interest number of years. Okay. Step 2, write down what you have been given. All right, so what we want to do, A, P, write down all the parameters, I and N, and then we try to fill in what we have been given of these. Let's go back to the question. Determine the length of time it will take for an investment of 520 to become 860. So 520 is our P. That's the initial investment. And then the end investment is the 860. Fill those in. If the simple interest rate is 12%, so we're given 12%. So what I like to do is that I like to convert it, that 12%, into a decimal, because when we put it in the equation, we put it in a decimal format. Now, step 3, write down. Okay, this was step 2. Write down what you have been given. We've done that. These are what we have been given. That makes this the unknown. Step 3, then just simply solve the unknown. Okay, so what I like to do is that, well, once I've found out what my unknown is, I like to manipulate the equation in order to get my unknown. So that's the equation there. Okay, I want to isolate n. So the first thing I'll do is get rid of this p such that it becomes a over p. I just took the p to the other side, or rather divided both sides by p, and then I'm left with 1 plus I n. Next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this one to the other side. So I have a over p minus 1 is equal to I n. Now I need to get rid of the I. So I divide both sides by the I such that I will be left with n. P minus 1. Now dividing this by I, I'll be left with n. Okay, now that I've manipulated the equation, I can go on and put the numbers. Okay, so A, we have A, there's A, is 860,000. Divide by P, which is 520. Minus 1, so minus 1 is there. Now divide this whole thing by the I, and our I is 0.12. Okay, next step is put this whole thing in the calculator. Here's our calculator. Let's put it on. So we'll put the fraction first. 860. 1, 2, 3. Divided by 520. Oh, sorry. Let's start again. 860. 1, 2, 3. Divide by 520. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1. All of that divided by 0.12. And we get an answer of 5.45. That's equal to 5.45 years. Okay, so our n is always in years. All right, let's go to the next question. Now, remember our 3 steps. Step 1, identify which equation. Let's look for which equation. Tammy will need 550 to buy a flat in 5 years' time. How much must she deposit now into an account offering 10% per annum compounded monthly? Okay, so now this gives us a clue into what equation we must use. So in identifying in our equation, we identified that it's a compound interest equation, which is A is equals to P 1 plus I, and now the N is an exponent. Right. Step 2 is to write down what you have been given. A, P, I, N. Okay, what have we been given? Tammy will need 550 to buy a flat in 5 years' time. So that 550 over there is the end amount, which is the 550 right there. And then that 5 years is our N. Okay, how much must she deposit now into an account offering 10% per annum? So that's our interest. Remember, Okay, and compounded monthly. Now, if it's compounded monthly, there are 12 months in a year, in an annum. So what we do is that we take the 12, we divide the interest by the 12, and then we multiply the number of years by 12. Okay, leave it there for now. So step 3, solve for what's unknown. What's unknown is P. Okay, so likewise, I like to manipulate the equation. So we have A, and that's P. That's what we want. So to get rid of this whole thing, we'll just simply divide by it, both sides by it. 1 plus I to the power n is equals to P. Okay, so that's our equation. Now, what's our A? That's gonna be A is 550,000 divided by, open the bracket, 1 plus our I is 0.1 divided by 12, and then our N is gonna be, there's our N, 5 times 12, and it's brackets there. Okay, now let's put that in a calculator. Right, so we're gonna put that 553, let's open the bracket, 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12, close bracket, exponent, open bracket, 5 times 12. And then we get that the answer is 334,283.73. That's in rands. Okay, so she's going to have to deposit this amount. The second question is, what was the effective interest rate that Tammy received each year? Now, same steps that we need to follow. Identify the equation. The equation is a effective interest equation. So effective interest is basically equal to, open bracket, 1 plus I over M exponent M minus 1. Okay, so let's just go on and put these numbers. 1 plus I, we already have 0.1, M is 12, M, still the same M, is 12 minus 1. So let's just simply put that in a calculator, see what we get. Okay, so open bracket, 1 plus 0.1 divided by 12, close bracket, an exponent of 12. Okay, and then come down, minus 1, and then we get an answer of 0.1047. Now, we need to convert this into a percentage format, and we do that by multiplying by 100. And when we do that, we will get an answer of 10.47%. Right, now that completes our question. It's answered.